Hey there, this is Blair Betts, and I'm one of the undergraduate coaches on the Admissions Geek team. Today, I'd like to share with you 3 suggestions from members of the class of 2021 who are considering a gap year. With all of the uncertainty due to COVID-19, we wanted to provide our thoughts and some tips regarding taking a gap year. If you'd like to learn more, please check us out at admissionsgeek.com. I've always been a big proponent of gap years, and while I have worked as an admissions officer and high school college counselor, taking a gap year is a subject that I haven't talked too much about with families because until recently, it really wasn't a popular option in the United States. As you know, the class of 2020 has had to make some really tough decisions about what they are going to do in the fall, and taking a gap year has been a popular option, although some colleges did not allow students to defer admission. So now our attention turns to the class of 2021 and what considerations they should take into account when deciding if a gap year is best for them. As with anything when it comes to COVID-19, we will have to see how the landscape of higher education evolves, but in the meantime, here are a few suggestions for those of you who are excited about a prospective gap year. My first suggestion is to go through the college admissions process. Unless you plan on spending a postgraduate or PG year at an independent school, I strongly recommend going through the college admissions process with the rest of your peers. Opinions will vary on this, and there are certainly students who will successfully apply to colleges after their gap year, and while there are some advantages, I think it's best to utilize your resources while they're readily available. So ideally speaking, you are able to secure which teachers will write your letters of recommendation before the summer break. This is because teachers will set aside time during the summer to write them for you. And additionally, your college counselor or guidance counselor will need to provide a letter of recommendation on your behalf. You want to ensure that the people writing your letters of recommendation are able to write the strongest, most supportive letters possible. So it's best for them to be written while you are a current student. Another factor to keep in mind is the possibility that your ideal recommenders may move on to other career opportunities while you're on your gap year. Apart from the required letters of recommendation, you will also benefit from the support of having your college or guidance counselor while you write your college essays. And while the process of deferring admission will vary by school, generally it's an easy process that most schools encourage, and I can't imagine that will change moving forward. Typically, schools will reevaluate your financial aid and any scholarship offers based on the current applicant pool, so that is an important aspect to be mindful of. And of course, the main reason to go through the application process before graduating high school is the relief of knowing you're already in college. My second suggestion is to tap into your network. Now, there will be students who need to take a gap year to work or fulfill familial obligations, especially during the pandemic, and colleges are supportive of that. Now, if that does not apply to you, be sure to have a detailed plan of how you will spend your time, since many colleges will require that information. The class of 2021 is in a unique position because you will all have access to students who are currently taking a gap year, as well as those who are entering their first year of college during a global pandemic. Tap into your network to talk to these students throughout the year to help guide your decision as to whether or not you will pursue a gap year and to help you develop your plan should you decide to. Another advantage that you have is that gap year organizations have the time to adjust their offerings should you choose to enroll in a formal gap year program. Lastly, my third suggestion is to be reflective and flexible. I took a post-grad gap year after completing my bachelor's degree. Part of the reason was that I simply needed a break. I worked throughout college, I had to take time off from school due to financial reasons, and I had to transfer schools as a result. So while in college, one of my dreams was to study abroad, but I didn't have that opportunity. So as my college graduation approached and I weighed my options, I realized that I wasn't ready to enter the workforce, nor was I ready to go back to school straight away. So I decided to go overseas and spend time in my favorite country, which is the Netherlands. I didn't have a textbook college experience, just like the college students all over the world have had their experience altered due to the pandemic. Coronavirus has forced us all to reflect on our lives, and it's tested our flexibility and resilience. If a gap year is an opportunity you truly want to pursue, but you aren't happy with the options you have right now, consider pursuing a gap year once you graduate from college. I can tell you from personal experience, it was the best decision I made.